This is the Universal Wrestling Podcast. Inside the ring, outside the ring, it's all here.
We're talking about the greatest sport of all, professional wrestling.
Come on! And now, here's Nick and Keith.
Keith, buy or sell? We're back at it again. Hot or cold, similar aspects to this episode. We're going to buy or sell WWE title holders. The concept is pretty simple. Keith, let's get to it, buddy. Let's hear your first one. Are you buying or selling? And let's hear the wrestler.
I'm coming right out the gate with a lot of controversy, and I hope everyone hates me for it. So let's go.
Do it.
I am selling. I guess it's really like quadruple reign. I'm selling both sets of main roster tag team champions.
Yes. Vintage Keith.
Here's the thing. Motor City Machine Guns, huge respect. Amazing. Will absolutely go down as one of the best tag teams of like the newer generation of wrestling fan. Anyone that watched the Indies, anyone that paid attention to Ring of Honor and early TNA and all that.
Yeah.
You're stupid if you think they're bad, because they're not. They're phenomenal. They're a great tag team. I think they just kind of like bumbled how they did it. They just didn't. The build up to the debut was kind of weird. The debut was a little bit like lackluster with it, and then they just kind of shoved the belts on them right away. Like, I think sometimes it's like a thing. Sometimes in AEW they do a thing where it's like they don't give you enough background of someone that's coming in to like make you understand why you're supposed to care about them. And I feel like that's kind of what they did with the Machine Guns here. It was just like all these vignettes. They showed up. Wow, big deal. Machine Guns are here. Like, they say it on commentary, but there's not really like, they don't have the access of the catalog to see all. I guess maybe they could have, but like all the stuff in TNA and the history, and they're both former TNA world champions and all this like stuff that like isn't really talked about. It's just kind of like, these guys are big, so you should care that they're big. Now they're the champions. And it's like, okay, what are we doing with that though? And then honestly, it really just roped in. Like, that was the main one that stuck in my head, but I'm putting in, the Judgment Day with it too, because like, I honestly forgot they were even champions. Like, we're not doing anything with the tag team division right now with like in terms of the titles, which is crap because they have a really strong tag division. Like they always have, rather than having all this stuff where it's like Wyatt Six is messing with the Miz / the Final Testament and the New Day might break up and all this, like, no, man, like you guys have, like DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, and the War Raiders, whatever they're calling now, but they're friggin' War Machine. They're three of the best tag teams of the last 20 years, 25 years, maybe. You have all three of them on your roster. Make the matches happen. I don't know. None of us want to watch tag team breakups. I mean, DIY breakups going to be good, but like before you do that, we have a lot of legs to put it into that stuff, and you're not. Like I said, I forgot Judgment Day was even the champions.
Yeah.
So like that tells you how much they're doing with that. And then the Motor City Machine Gun ones, like I said, I feel like it was too much too soon without enough explanation. So I'm selling both sets of tag team champions right now, unfortunately. But someone changed my opinion, WWE. Jesus.
Let's get to it. You sold them.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy someone. I'm going to buy Trick Williams as our NXT champion. Here are some of the reasons. Charisma. Right. Absolutely love.
Okay.
Fresh matchups. It's not just, Ethan Page. It's everybody. Everybody has a chance with Trick, and that makes it entertaining. You could even say the underdog appeal, where you may not think, okay, Trick has this because he's still kind of new when it comes to a singles title run. We've seen it. So him with Carmelo, and we're just so used to that. That is really great. I mean, Mike's skills are just improving every week, and
absolutely,
he's just entertaining. And it just seems like when someone like a Trick Williams is champion, we feel it. And that's how I feel. I feel like he's just an everyman. He's a good dude too. And that helps. The appeal, I mean, every time he comes out, even if you like or dislike Booker T as a commentator, it gets you in the mood.
I am not a fan of Booker T, but I love I like it. It's so good.
And you can do anything with Trick. I mean, he's so flexible when it comes to the storyline because he's not married to Carmelo. He is who he is, and he can get in the ring with anyone. Is his in work great? No, it doesn't need to be because he's so good
Right.
at what he does, as in the mic skills and getting over. Getting over is half the battle. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm buying him with you, and
Yeah.
I can keep it short and simple as to why. I think the biggest appeal for him, for me, aside from the things you said, the mic skills and everything like that, because he's not the most fantastic in the ring. Some of his stuff doesn't look super crisp and everything, but he's
Yeah.
learning, he's working on it. He doesn't look awful at anything, so like that's fine.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things for me is that it's he's believably beatable. And I don't mean that as like I don't want that to be taken as like me like disrespecting him in any way, but it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, we talked about it. Look at any of the videos back on this channel to like hear what we're talking about from, you know, from last year basically, where like we would get to pay-per-views and it's like, you know, oh, it's LA Knight versus Roman. It's just like, oh man, like I love LA Knight. There's no chance he's beating Roman Reigns, you know. Whereas like Trick, with who he is and even like his character and all, is book strong, and like he gets book strong and everything like that, but like,
Yeah.
you know, we're building right now toward him and Ridge Holland. I don't think they'll do
It's
it because I
believable.
don't think Ridge is
Yeah.
over like that. But like, yeah, I could see them putting Ridge Holland over him for sure.
Absolutely.
Or when eventually, hopefully, Obafemi gets there. More on him in a minute. But like eventually, when we get Obafemi challenge, and like, yeah, that's going to be a thing of just like, oh, Oba's going to destroy him. Oba's going to win the championship here. And then if he doesn't, it's like, whoa, oh, there's going to be some cool something that happens with it to like make you want more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm buying it with you.
And I think there's that's two, you know, you made two great points. A, he has that connection. When he's on the TV, I'm watching, you know? And two, it just seems like each week he's improving, and that's entertaining to watch because you don't know what you're going to get. You know, he's just NXT, and he's not the greatest champion, but he's entertaining. He's believable. He has that connection with the audience, and you know, it's fun to watch. All right, give it to me. What do you got? Let's hear another one.
I'm gonna buy here. I'm buying Tony D as North American champion. Caveat, I didn't love him beating Obafemi because it came out of kind of nowhere. Like Obafemi put him down and like beat him handily, and then like the next pay-per-view he just lost out of nowhere.
Yeah.
There was like some involvement in shenanigans and whatnot, so like that's fine. But just in general, I'm buying him as North American champion, most if nothing else because I totally wasn't buying him as Heritage Cup champion because that was really weird. But no, I think it's a perfect belt for him. I think he, you know, I know wrestlers hate the whole thing of like deserves or whatever, so like I feel like he earned it. Like,
oh yeah,
he's one of the few like gimmicks that like appeared in, you know, the NXT 2.0 bright colors, whatever kind of what are we doing era that has stood and stands still the test of time with it all.
Yeah.
He got over then. He's stayed over. You know, he's just had a lot of really great moments, and it's like it's awesome to finally give him like a singles run, you know. I think I'm buying it. I can't wait for him to make the move to the main roster eventually. I can see him challenge. We just talked about Trick. That's another one. Like if we get to that match, like I could totally see Tony D beating Trick and having him hold the world title or whatever, you know, like I think he earned it. I think he's fantastic. I don't even have too much more to say about that. Like I buy him as the North American champion because it was the right call. He never should have been Heritage Cup champion, and you know, maybe I would have liked Oba to hold it longer, but if it leads to Oba either going to the main roster to start dominating or for him to get an NXT title run, that's fine with me too. So yeah, Tony D.
Yeah, I agree with yeah, I agree with it. I think A, he's earned it, and B, to see someone from the Rainbow era, you know, succeeding, it's like, okay, I dig that because he is a character. You know, he is a Tony Soprano, an Italian guy that likes to fight and blah, blah, blah. And it's appealing because, you know, he's, again, likable like a Trick. Let's get to mine. Let's get to the next one. This might be obvious. This might be Captain Obvious. But for me, I am selling the Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker. And I wrote a bunch of things down. I think we can maybe all agree. Let's see. Lack of momentum, missed opportunities, no focus on storyline, weak booking, underwhelming feuds, fatigue, title fatigue. I am just fatigued. And there's really no potential elsewhere to go with this, because of
Shooting
what
from the hip,
happened.
damn.
Now let's get back to it. Lack of momentum. He beat Jey Uso. We don't know what we're doing. Jey Uso is now, I mean, I guess we understand from the creative side of it. Jey Uso is now going to be part of the he is part of the Bloodline storyline. So what do? You beat him. That's what happened. I'm not okay with it, but I get it. I understand it.
I'm with you, and
Yeah.
I unfortunately, I don't even think it's really a Braun Breaker problem. I feel like it's an IC title problem that they did, because
Yeah.
they had Sammy and Gunther's reign, and then Sammy held it for a while, which was great. That whole build up to all that piece of it and all was great. And then Braun won it, and then he lost it pretty quick to Jay, and then Jay lost it back to Braun again. It was a weird, like, hot shot back and forth over a really short period of time, which that's where it completely lost it for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool if you're going to have Sammy lose it to Braun. Like, that's fine. That's how you bring a guy up. That's how you put some fire on him right away. Fantastic. But then, it was like this weird whatever, while all of us were already all saying, just like, give it to Sheamus. Like, we all want Sheamus to win it because it's like literally the only title he hasn't won in the whole time he's been in WWE.
Exactly.
Just give him a run. Give him a run with it, because that's what we all want to happen. And then it builds itself, because I'm also pretty sure Cena never had an IC title run. So then you give Sheamus the championship, and then you have Cena retire and give Cena a run with it too.
Yeah.
You build that's a great feud. Two veterans who never got to hold it. Now they're going to fight each other. Come on. So I think it's just like, it's not even just Breaker's fault. It's like the booking of the title's fault. But I'm with you. I would sell that one also.
Yeah. And I think storylines too, it's just the Bloodline is now back in the spotlight, and Jay cannot be a title holder, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he could be, but it just maybe didn't make sense for the storyline. I get if that's what they're doing, but it just seems like they did that for that reason. And of course, us podcasters, wrestling fans, we know that, or we think we know that. Next one.
So I'm going to go, try not to be too negative. I honestly was really struggling because I feel like I wanted to sell a lot of people.
Everything. Yeah.
So I'm going to, but I'm going to go, this is the two sells that I landed on are kind of controversial ones, but whatever. I am selling Roxanne Perez as NXT Women's Champion. It's just been, it's another one that I don't know if it's just like the booking of it or whatever, because like it was kind of this weird back and forth with her, and like Lyra had it, and like then Lyra went up, but then came back, and then and all this in between. And it's I think the biggest problem for it for me is that I have never really, and maybe it's like what they want from me, like maybe it's the right heat they're looking for or whatever, but like I have never really bought Roxanne as a heel. Yeah. So like her as a heel champion, you're ramping that, like, that feeling that I already don't really have for it. You're ramping it up, and it's not making it any better for me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I read my dates the right way, she's, out of all the current champions, she has held her title the longest out of anybody, because I think she won it back in like April. I think she won it like the week before WrestleMania when Cody won his. So she's had it the longest, or she might have won it in March maybe. So yeah, like I don't know. I don't know if it's just fatigue because she's had it for so long, or the combination of fatigue for her having it for so long combined with me not just really buying her as like a heel fully anyway.
Yeah, that could be it.
And then like them having to like, shove her into this whole, the whole, oh yeah. The whole 5-woman thing they did with what are they called? Not they're Fatal Attraction, but they're not Fatal Attraction.
Oh yeah.
Fatal something. I was thinking of Toxic Attraction, but whatever. I can't think of their name, but just tying it with that, and then like Cora came back, and now they're both heels together, even though they were like on the path for a blood feud. Like it's just weird booking of it all, and I just think NXT has such a strong women's division right now that like to have the main title that they have, both of the titles really, because also the women's North Americans in there, but I buy Fallon Henley, and that's fine. But like to have like your main women's title in NXT, like just kind of being, gate kept by this like one person that they really want to get over because she's like Booker T's daughter. I know she's not really his daughter, but like he trained her and all. So it's like this big thing with it. Like it's crap, man. Like I want Sol Ruka to have a chance. I want Zarya, who just got here, to have a chance. Ruka. I want Jordan Grace when she gets over to like have a thing. And there's just, There's so many I want Tatum Paxley to have a run. Tatum Paxley has come leaps and bounds from when she showed up as just like a sporty person with Diamond Mind out of nowhere, and she's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's so much other
opportunity. Yep.
Yeah, there's so many other women that need that shot, and it's just I don't know that we're gonna get it because Roxanne's doing it. So
let's do some quick ones here.
Yeah.
I'm selling Nia Jax as WWE Women's Champion. It's just convoluted, inconsistent booking. Is Tiffany going to cash in? Is Tiffany her friend? Is Tiffany not her friend?
Right.
Now we get Judgment Day. Now Bayley's back. Now this, now that. It's hard for me to sink my teeth into. Yeah. Let's hear it. What do you got? Give me another one.
I'm going to throw a quick one as I'm buying Charlie Dempsey as Heritage Cup champion. Out of the entire NXT men's roster, he is the only one to me that makes sense holding that cup. I love they're getting Regal in with him, father-son duo there. Lovely, fantastic. Buying it. Want him to hold it. I don't. If they're going to get rid of it, that's fine. Have it be him that goes out with it, or have him hold it until Noam Dar is back and do that. But I think Noam Dar is supposed to come back on the main roster. So but love it. Love Charlie Dempsey. Love No Quarter Catch Crew. Fantastic. Love what they're doing.
Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Have yourself a good one. We'll see you next time right here on the UW Pod. Peace.